Now, calculating the volume of a pyramid or a cone is actually very similar to calculating the volume of a prism, in fact. The formulas are quite similar. So hopefully we know what a pyramid is. Here's an example of one. So here's a triangular-based pyramid. Okay, so it's like a prism on one side, or basically one end, but it comes to a point. Okay, so basically any shape that has a flat base and comes up to a point is pretty much a pyramid, right, of sorts. Okay, of course there might be exceptions to that rule, but generally speaking, anything that comes to a point is a pyramid. So the two types of things we're going to look at, obviously the general pyramid and a very special type of pyramid called a cone. So the formula is given by V equals area of the base, okay, base A, okay, times the height. So V equals AH, okay, remember that's from the formula of the volume of a prism. But we need to divide it by 3, okay, to get the volume of a pyramid, because it contains 1/3 of the volume of the prism that contains it. So imagine the pyramid can fit inside a prism with the same base. A pyramid is 1/3 of that volume. So as an example, a rectangular pyramid has base dimensions 5 meters and 3 meters with perpendicular height 7 meters. So the perpendicular height is this height here. Okay, so must form a right angle there. Some questions, I've seen questions where they try and sort of trick you a little bit, and they might actually give you the slant height, okay, the one on an angle. You can't use that, okay, so you've got to use Pythagoras theorem then to find the perpendicular height, okay, which is obviously 7 meters there in this question. Right, so let's work it out. Volume is equal to area of the base. So if you want, you can work out the area of the base separately, okay, so if I do a different color, area of the base, okay, is equal to, okay, it's a rectangle, so it's 5 times 3, which equals to 15 square meters. All right, so the volume of the pyramid, right, is equal to AH on 3, so it's equal to 15 times 7 over 3, okay, and that's equal to 35 cubic meters. Okay. Let's have a look at a cone now. You can think of a cone as actually a very special type of pyramid, okay, but it's a pyramid with a circular base. So think of an ice cream cone or one of those witch's hats, right? Very similar sort of shape. So it basically it's a circle that comes to a point. So the volume of a cone, given that it's really just another type of pyramid with radius, where the radius of the base is R units and perpendicular height H units, is given by the formula. And this looks familiar as well. This looks like the formula for a cylinder, pi r squared H. But again, because it's a shape that comes to a point, a type of pyramid, we have to divide it by 3. So let's have a look at a quick example. Find the capacity to the nearest kiloliter, of course I have to throw capacity in the mix, of a cone with radius 2 meters and perpendicular height 6 meters. Okay, so I'm just going to apply the formula directly here. So volume is equal to pi r squared H. So pi, now radius is already given. If it's diameter, we need to halve it, but the radius is already given. So pi times 2 squared times height, which is 6, and we're going to divide that by 3. Okay, so if you wanted to work out the area of the base separately, you can. I've just worked it all out at once, and I think that's easy enough to do. So entering all that in, can we zoom in there? Yes, we can. Fraction pi times 2 squared, of course that's 4, times 6, okay, over 3, and we get 25.13. Okay, so I'll just zoom out there. All right, so volume is equal to 25.1327 dot dot dot. Okay, dot 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 just means that there's more decimals, but we're going to round it to the nearest kiloliter, and that's in cubic meters. Now recall the conversion between a kiloliter and a cubic meter. This is where it's really convenient. 1 cubic meter is 1 kiloliter. So that's really just 25.1327 kiloliters, but we want it to the nearest kiloliter. Okay, so that's just going to be 25 kiloliters.